Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Master Premier League, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Gyarados! Gyarados on team number 1 from my top 5 best teams for the Master Premier League. And it is quite strong. We all know by now Gyarados is a staple in the Master Premier League and nothing has really changed. It is just as overpowered and just as useful as it has ever been, and will be on the safe swap on team number 1 along with Florges in the back to close the game strong. Now, if you guys will recall from my top 5 best teams, I actually had Florges on the lead, but if you will also recall, I was very clear that this team is so powerful and flexible that you could really mold it to suit your needs, and that is exactly what we're doing. I tested it out on the lead, and I found that having it in the back was a lot more effective. And rounding out the team on the lead, good old reliable Snorlax. Love Snorlax, and it is best buddied. Best buddied Snorlax, quite good. Gets a lot more bulk, and actually hits a key breakpoint up against Gyarados, which really does come in handy. And before we dive into the featured set of the video, going to start things off with some bonus battles that I thought were a lot of fun. Here we go. Gyarados lead. It is running Waterfall. Not a big deal. This is a pretty neutral lead, and we can actually win this. We just outbulk this opposing Gyarados here. Going to go for a Body Slam here. And they are at the Aqua Tail, and they are farming for days. So tried to catch an Aqua Tail here, but they held on to the energy. And I was thinking this could be an Outrage. They are running Waterfall. You can't often see Outrage with a Waterfall Gyarados, but it was not. It was a Crunch, and our defense did drop, which is unfortunate. So we're going to throw this Aqua Tail, and they shield. That is fine. We now know that it's not likely that they are running Outrage. It's just a Crunch here. I'm going to look to farm down, but no, they swap aggressively into a Metagross. So no wonder they wanted to chip us a little bit to bring this Metagross in here to most likely farm us down. But this is fine. We do get that Crunch through, and they are going to go for that farm down. Holy smokes. So what we're going to look to do here is come back in, of course, with our Snorlax. The Florges would be not very useful here, so we'll come in with Snorlax and soak one of these Meteor Mashes. We definitely tank it. It hurts, but we tank it, no problem, and they will get to a second one. Yeah, we do shield, and we're going to actually look to farm this thing down. We can farm down with these resisted licks. They will not make it to another Meteor Mash. We're going to bank that energy as they did aggressively swap back into the Gyarados, and we do farm it down. And now we've got our Florges here, no shields, little nerve-wracking, especially when they have something like an Excadrill in the back, which is exactly what we are seeing here. They do let through the Moonblast, which I was quite surprised to see, but this is fine. Still, it's getting a little sweaty here. Going to throw the Disarming Voice. I don't believe it will KO, but hoping to at least grab the shield, and they no-shield it. Holy smokes, a moon, that was a gutsy call there, my goodness. But perhaps they are just throwing caution to the wind, maybe playing with the mindset of they've got nothing to lose, as this is getting very close, a little close for comfort. They do take us out. We're going to put the hope and faith in the Snorlax. We had loaded energy, and they catch our Body Slam onto the low health Metagross. That is unfortunate, but we were one lick off from Body Slam number 2. And my goodness, hats off to the opponent. They made that close, but we're saying bye-bye to the little squishy mole known as Excadrill, courtesy of Snorlax. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Snorlax coming in clutch in the end. No wonder I refer to him as good old reliable. That's exactly what Snorlax is. And here we go. Togekiss lead. Yet another neutral lead, which is why I like Snorlax on the lead with team number 1. And we're just going to play this out here. Try and take out the Togekiss, because obviously bad news for our Gyarados. We don't have much that can hit Togekiss for neutral damage. We really only have our Aqua Tail, so would be happy to take this thing out. And they're letting all of these body slams go. So what we're going to do is shield up the potential flamethrower. That's the play for them when they are this low on health. And they make a play into a Waterfall Gyarados. So going to bank a move and go into our own Gyarados running Dragon Breath again. As I mentioned in my top 5 best teams, this is why I generally prefer Dragon Breath Gyarados to go up against these very powerful Waterfall Gyaradoses. Makes the matchup a lot more comfortable. And I do believe we tanked this. We are down a shield. How to go down a shield against that Togekiss? It's just an Aqua Tail, and now we're going to overload as much as we dare and go for the Aqua Tail. That's all we need from this health range, and they do let it go. Oh, just about. Holy smokes. Oh man, that Gyarados hung on by a thread, but the Dragon Breath did the trick, and they do come back in with that Togekiss. We're going for Aqua Tail number 2, taking out the Togekiss. Gyarados popping off in the Master Premier League. You love to see it, my goodness. That's the power of effective energy management right there, my friends. And we did grab the shield. I was quite surprised to see that. Primarina does not have the shield a thing from Gyarados, but they probably recognize that it's their final Pokemon, and things are getting quite crazy as Gyarados went on an absolute rampage there. You'd love to see it. Gonna go for a body slam here, put the pressure, and we grab the final shield. My goodness, it is just about lights out. As Primarina takes forever to get to its charge moves. We know that they are only making it to 1. Might as well shield it. It would not have KO'd, but we had the shield. You might as well use it. We get to this Moonblast, and we are saying bye-bye to the Primarina, courtesy of our Florges. Florges coming in clutch, closing the game in dominant fashion. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Team number 1 was quite strong, quite effective in the Master Premier League. You'll love to see it. And here we go, Swampert lead. You don't see these too often, but they are out there. As we see, there's one right here. So what we're going to look to do is just play this out. Much like with just about everything in this meta, we just kind of outbulk the Swampert. We do tank the EQ, and they dip into a Charmer. So oh, guys, whenever they safe swap a Charmer, generally Sylveon, you can almost bet the house that there is a second Charmer in the back. So we're going to play with that in mind. After chipping it down quite a bit, our Snorlax is still relatively healthy, could come in handy down the line. We're reading that there's another Charmer in the back, and seeing that they led Swampert makes perfect sense, as Swampert protects the back 2 potential Charmers from Metagross. So just going to shield up this Psyshock. It's these Charms with Stab that are really starting to dig in at this point. We are now at 50% health. Just going to overload and go for a Disarming Voice. They are well within range of a Disarming Voice, and they do let it go. I would imagine they come back in with that Swampert, and because we overloaded, we can now go for the big Moonblast. They likely want to save that final shield, and they do let it go. That is amazing, and they do throw their energy. Not sure if they were expecting that, but generally when you have another Charmer in the back, you want to save at least one shield to get in as much charm damage as possible. And there it is, right on cue. Charmer number 2. The team read was accurate, and that is putting our Gyarados in a very difficult position. We are still even on shields. We got a little bit of chip damage in, and now it is all up to Gyarados to try and pull off a miracle here. Absolutely have to shield up the super effective Ancient Power. And it will take them a little bit of time to get to another one. So we do have back-to-back Aqua Tails. Going to throw Aqua Tail number 1. If they let it go, it'll just about take them out. I wasn't quite sure. I don't think that this will completely KO, but I'm hoping a couple of Dragon Breaths will do the trick, and it does. Oh my goodness, Gyarados coming in so clutch. The Swampert does not make it to a move in time, and just like that, Gyarados has taken over the game, overcoming seemingly impossible odds. You'll love to see it. Good game, well played. Gyarados taking over that game. My goodness, what a strong Pokemon. And here we go. Shadow Snorlax mirror matchup on the lead. So I find that playing Snorlax in the mirror, I just like to just go for the back-to-back superpowers. I experimented with what I found to be the best way to play it, but they generally will not shield. So we're going to let this go, even if it was a superpower. We tank that, no problem, especially with that best buddy boost. Makes it so much more bulkier. And we go for superpower number 1. And they timed this perfectly. We're going to have to shield. A superpower plus the debuff would have done quite a bit. And going to go for superpower number 2. I was expecting a shield here, and they don't shield. They let that go, taking the shield advantage, and we are fine with that, as Snorlax can be quite the handful. And they've got a Gyarados of their own and the Florges of their own in the bag. Oh, look at what we have here. Maybe a loyal viewer of the channel checking out my top 5 best teams. They're running an identical team to the team we have here, which is team number 1 for my top 5 best teams. So we are kind of locked in here. We are literally locked in here. Switch timer is not quite up, so we're just burning the clock, spamming these Aqua Tails just as fast as we get to them, and they are not giving up those shields. We will make it to a third, as Fairy Wind does not do much base damage, so it's hard to farm down with Fairy Wind. And we do finally grab a shield. Gonna throw Snorlax in here. We did not want them to completely farm us down. That's basically giving them free energy. They do go for that big Moonblast and make the play back into their Gyarados, but best buddy Snorlax not done, getting to the body slam at the last second, and we grab the final shield. So now it is all up to Florges to sweep this game up. I think Florges is up to the task, as Florges is so strong in this meta, especially when it has a shield advantage, and that's kind of how you want to play team number 1. Preserve a shield advantage for Florges, to roam free and wreak havoc. They are going to go for an Aqua Tail here, but we tank those all day, no problem, and we can even tank a third. We really want to overload here. We are just going to play this out. We know that we tank these Aqua Tails, and they cannot farm down. What we wanted to do was max out on energy, just in case they wanted to catch. We wanted to be very close to another Moonblast if necessary, but they did not attempt the catch, and we were just a few Fairy Winds off from the Moonblast, and we are saying bye-bye to the Florges. That is how you play a mirror matchup. If you're playing team number 1, Florges sweeping the game. That's going to be yet another good game. Well played. Oh, had a lot of fun with those bonus battles, but we now move into the featured set of the video, and we are met with a Gyarados on the lead, running Dragon Breath. And because we are best buddied and we have 15 attack, that means that we get a breakpoint on Gyarados, which means that we are doing 1 additional damage per lick, which is never a bad thing, as Gyarados can be quite strong in this meta. And we've already got this Gyarados down to about 50% health. Gonna look to build up a little bit. We gotta be careful for a catch, and they tried to catch the resisted body slam under their steel type Excadrill. We were onto them, not gonna happen. We did tank a Rock Slide, no problem, and there is no way in a million years that they could ever attempt to even try and think about farming us down from this health range. So we will shield up the second Rock Slide and look to get to back-to-back Aqua Tails. We're going to go for Aqua Tail number 1 right here. If they want to give us 2 shields, by all means, but no, it looks like they're going to cut their losses, and they go down with a little bit of energy there. We leave relatively healthy, down a shield, but we do have some energy to spare, and there are a few Pokemon better at expending their energy as effectively as Gyarados. So gonna go for the crunch as they do come back in with their opposing Gyarados. That KOs, and they've got a Mamoswine in the back. Gyarados popping off yet again. You absolutely love to see it. Gonna go for this Aqua Tail here, and we are starting to grab shields. Had a move loaded on Snorlax, might as well dump it here and either do big damage or grab a shield. We take both of those, no problem. We do take the shield. And they are going to throw. And we're going to let this go. We have been debuffed. Snorlax did the job, grabbed that final shield, and now it is time for Florges to go to work here on this Mamoswine with no shields. We do tank an Avalanche, no problem, and they will make it to a second one, but that's why we've got a shield here, guys. That's the goal with Florges in the back. Preserve a shield for it. As long as you're not stuck up against the steel type, Florges is absolutely going to dominate. We've got the Moonblast. And Moonblast with stab from Florges hits like a truck. We're saying bye-bye to the Mamoswine. Oh, you absolutely love to see it. Team number 1 putting in the work. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Telling you guys, team number 1 was really putting in the work in the Master Premier League. And here we go. Florges lead. Pretty neutral lead, much like everything in this meta outside of the fighters. Very neutral play across the board with Snorlax on the lead. We tank damage for days, going to let all this go through. You basically want to preserve the shields for Florges to sweep the end game. That's sort of the thought process behind team number 1. And we are going to go for a body slam here. Florges quite bulky in the Master League format. So much like Snorlax, it tanks damage quite well. Going to go for body slam number 2 here. I'm not expecting a shield as it does not KO, but they're going to have a hard time tanking a third. Gonna let this go, even if it is a Moonblast, guys. This is where the best buddy boost comes in clutch. We live, and we don't react fast enough. They snipe us with a Snorlax of their own. That is very unfortunate, as we went down with a body slam. That one was a little rough, but we're gonna try and recover here. Gonna go for this Aqua Tail and slowly but surely chip away at the Snorlax. It is a shadow, so it is taking more damage. 20% more to be exact, but it's also dealing more damage with that shadow bonus. But we do know we do tank a body slam, even a shadow, no problem. And we can't tank a second one, and we hit our move. Did you guys see that? If you didn't see it, run it back, because that really got me a little tilted, because we hit our move, and under no circumstances in any universe, the Snorlax wins CMP tie over Gyarados. And I guess it looks like the false CMP phenomenon is back, which is very annoying. Oh, man. And they've got a Machamp in the back. So not looking good here, I'm gonna say, guys, because Florges, although it has the type advantage, Shadow Machamp beats Florges in the 2-to-1 shield. If it's even shields, Florges all the way. But if Machamp has a slight shield advantage, it can edge this out, as that big rock slide does a lot of damage, and they can basically cross-chop us and take us out from this range, plus the counters. But we're going to try our very best. We go for Disarming Voice. They shield, of course. They absolutely have to. And they shield again, and they will CMP tie us to the next one, and Machamp wins the CMP tie. So this is not trending in the right direction. Our Gyarados is quite low. We've got to get rid of this Machamp. It is ruining our day here, guys. This will definitely allow us to say bye-bye. But that Florges, I do recall, has some energy, and we just are not going to be able to get this one done. That is unfortunate. It would have been nice if the game worked properly in the key moments that it did not. But hey, it is what it is. Good game, well played. Man, couldn't quite get that last one done, but no big deal. We press on, and here we go. We are faced with a little squishy mole known as Excadrill on the lead. This is pretty neutral. We can win this. We do have to successfully bait, but if we can do that, we can pull this out. We tank 2 of their drill runs, no problem. And it does get us in the red, but they cannot farm down. They need another drill run to KO after landing too. And we tried to bait and they let that go. That means that they've got something in the bag that, well, it generally means that they have something in the bag that they can bring in onto Snorlax if they're willing to just call a bait in a very risky fashion, as they are doing here. So we're not really, I think we want to shield here, or no, I think we do soft lose lead here. No, we shield. My goodness, I couldn't, I'm a little confused because we had back-to-back Excadrill leads, so I'm confusing the other one. We do shield, to control the alignment. Although we are low, controlling the alignment and almost said Ultra League, and the Master Premier League can often be the key to your success. And as we can see, it will be, because they have a Waterfall Gyarados. And again, this is why we're running Dragon Breath Gyarados. Being able to choose the alignment is seemingly paying off here. And they've got a Primarina in the back. So that was absolutely the call. Sometimes you have to shield a low health Pokemon to control the alignment. It's well worth the shield. And they are tanking our moves here, which is quite interesting to see, because if they have a Charmer lurking in the back, they generally save the 2 shields for the Charmer. And we're going to go for a Disarming Voice. And they are now finally starting to shield, but I think the damage has been done. Florges is super spammy, putting in the work up against this Primarina. We've got both shields. The job has been done. This is Gyarados' nightmare matchup in this meta. I don't believe there is any harder counter. Maybe Magnezone, but Primarina is right up there as well. But we've got this thing in the red. Florges put in the work. Making it very easy for Gyarados. We KO with a resisted crunch, and now game on. We've got the Waterfall Gyarados left to deal with, and that is no problem for our Dragon Breath Gyarados. Again, this is why I generally prefer Dragon Breath in this meta for all of these very powerful Waterfall Gyaradoses. Makes it quite easy, I say, and we're saying bye-bye to the opposing Gyarados, courtesy of a crunch from our own Gyarados. You'll love to see it. That's going to be yet another good game, well played. So if you guys are looking for a solid team for the Master Premier League, team number 1 might just be for you. It was quite strong, and here we go. Another Excadrill lead. Again, not too bad. If you can successfully bait, you can do just fine up against Excadrill. I have seen people go straight superpower, even with the debuffs. Excadrill is so squishy that even debuffed superpowers do a lot. They tried to catch what they think, I believe, is the superpowers. They caught it on a flying type, which comes in the form of Gyarados. Had to check the move before swapping out. It is Dragon Breath, so that means it's Florges time, and Florges does quite well up against Dragon Breath Gary. Not a problem at all. We're just going to take full advantage of this situation and absolutely overload on energy. And that chip damage, we wanted to chip the Gyarados because we need 2 moves to KO if we don't have enough chip damage. But because we got that chip damage, a Moonblast will definitely do the trick. And they let it go. And they do come back in with the Excadrill, and they throw immediately. They don't want to have to tank any damage or give up a shield. I don't blame them. Not a big deal. Going to come back in with our Snorlax, and they've got a Shadow Machamp in the back. Not used to seeing so many Machamps in the Master Premier League, but I would imagine a lot of people have built or upgraded their level 40s to level 50s, so this might be the reason why we're seeing so many Machamps, but that is fine. We've got just the answer to it, and we called the bait successfully. You love to see it. Had to call a bait because that Excadrill does have some energy stored, and we do shield up the next cross chop there out of caution. And now we will look to unleash these super effective Aqua Tails. From this health range, this would basically KO the Excadrill. And we are playing with that in mind. Gonna go for Aqua Tail number 2. They absolutely have to shield this. And they do. So now what I think we're gonna do here is once we see that the switch timer is up, gonna have to shield this next Rock Slide, or yeah, we have to shield. That would KO from this range. And we knew that we were close to a superpower. Didn't know that we were this far off. I thought we were a couple of blicks off. But we do force them to throw. That was the goal. They throw, which means they're not making it to another move in time. We had the Aqua Tail loaded, and we are saying bye-bye to the little squishy mole, courtesy of our Gyarados. You absolutely love to see it. That's going to be yet another good game, well played. Oh, I was having a lot of fun with team number 1. It was quite strong, and here we go, Primarina lead. So, and this one's running Waterfall, so very interesting to see. It does allow it to get to its charge moves a lot faster. But honestly, guys, I can't think of a reason to really run it in this meta. I guess you could make the case for the Excadrills, but yeah, I think if you're going to run Primarina, you just want to have coverage for it in the back. But we do tank a Moonblast, and we did get the attack drop. That is unfortunate. So just going to throw this body slam here. It does not do as much damage, of course. And they do farm us down with waterfall. So seeing that it's running waterfall, I'm fine coming in with Gyarados here and looking the farm down with double resisted dragon breaths. Non-stab, I might add. That was quite insane. But we do get an energy lead, and they come in with a Gyarados of their own. So going to go for the crunch here. And I'm a little cautious about aggressively swapping out of this. I don't know what they could have in the back. They led with a water type. They came in with a water type. So I was thinking maybe they had a third water type in the back. This is a very odd team to see here. So we decided to just play it safe and stay in. Gonna go for the Aqua Tail. This does KO just about from that range. And now, oh my goodness, they had a Metagross in the back. I was not expecting this, and I also was not expecting what happens next. It looks like they stopped attacking. I wasn't sure. I just play on, and we do go for the crunch here. And not sure what's going on their end. Seems like they may be disconnected, which is very unfortunate because, honestly, guys, they had us dead to rights. We were planning on coming in with Florges anyways and sort of go down with the ship. Yeah, unfortunate end to this one. They definitely had us dead to rights. I'll be the first to admit, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to take that free low where you can get it. Got a little bit of free low there in the end. Unfortunate. You never want to win that way, but like I said, you take the free low where you can get it. Go Battle League is hard enough as it is. So that is the team, my friends. Good game to our opponent. Sorry to see that they lost connection or whatever happened there. Not sure, but that is the team. Had a lot of fun with it, guys. It was quite strong. Team number 1 for my top 5 best teams for the Master Premier League was very strong. Quite flexible. You can run it in any order that you want. In the video, I was recommending leading with Florges. I did experiment with that. Did fine with it. But ultimately landed on the Snorlax lead, favoring the neutral play across the board. So, yeah, very powerful team. I would highly recommend giving it a try. But, guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. And also, before I close the video out, some of you may be aware there's a brand new Discord for the channel. You can hop on the channel homepage. It's in the top right corner. There's also a link in the description. Everyone is welcome to join. And when and if you do join, invite anyone you think would have some fun on Discord with us. So yeah, guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching. And keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.